Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I want to give a shout out and thanks to Huey for operating this session, Jim Evans for operating the other session, and Judy Talura, who's going to lead the last session, for putting this together. Again, as Huey said, this is the virtual conference, and today's presentation is the cloud or not the cloud. No, this is not a Shakespearean presentation, but it is a little bit of background and talking about the cloud. If you've ever had your computer crash or be destroyed in a fire, flood, or struck by lightning, you maybe perhaps lost some data. And what we're going to do today is talk about some of the ways you could prevent that. And another thing we'll talk about is with many devices out there as a laptop, desktop, and a phone, how important is it for you to have your files and information between them? Okay. Hey, what is the cloud? Okay. This is the definition that Wikipedia gives for cloud computing: is the use of computing resources, software or hardware, that delivered as a service over a network, typically the internet. The name comes from use of a cloud-shaped symbol as the abstraction for the complex infrastructure it contains in system diagrams. Cloud computing entrusts remote services with the user's data, software, and computation. Okay, so that is the cloud. Before we really get into this presentation, I want to give a warning. And when you download this presentation, the PowerPoint presentation should be a little bit better than the way that iLinks represents it here today. But I just want to let you know that I am not an expert, and this is a collection of my opinions, ideas, and research. And also that the programs and services we talk about today are no way should be implied as an endorsement by APCUG. And as soon as I learned that I can't hit the space bar to present this, one of the things we can talk about is maybe being too connected. And I have this little slide here to show that, and I'll just put that up, that it's possibly too much to be too connected. The cloud. Okay. The comparison of online backup and cloud storage. Before cloud computing services came into picture, online backup services had been serving customers. Online backup is provided by many companies. You've heard of Carbonite, Mozy, and a bunch of others. General methodology in online backup service allowed customers to back up and restore files from anywhere. Online backup is nothing but a remote managed or online backup service to provide users with a system for backing up and storing computer files. Before comparing online backup services, let us know more about each of the storage methods. Before we really get into this, I just want to say that this is not a presentation on how to back up. Gene Barlow has a very good presentation on that, and that tells you how to back up. This is basically talking about some of the things you could do with the data once you back it up. Online backup is basically a method of storing data like documents, folders, and sometimes even the hard drive contents on a remote server or computer network. Backing up data in a remote hard drive reduces the risk of data loss due to fire, theft, corrupt, and other natural disasters. Cloud storage is a model of online storage where big data are stored in pools of servers. These services usually maintained by a third party. Hosting companies usually operate large data centers. Customers who are in need of cloud storage can lease the space or now get it for free based on their requirements. One of the general rules between online backup and cloud computing is online backup allows servers to back up and restore files. Hard drive size varies from hundreds of gigabytes to 1 terabyte, even get bigger than that now. Using the storage method, we only back up a small portion of your system. Many online backup companies keep a copy of My Documents and other selected folders instead of the whole entire hard drive. Cloud storage is different. These services take a portion of your hard drive and synchronize it with online storage. Whether you may make changes in the file, they are quickly replicated to the cloud storage. SugarSync, Dropbox, and some of the other services that provide basic backup and support. Okay, let's look at here. I don't know how many people have actually seen what a data center is. These are pictures from inside one of Google's data centers. Sorry, the picture's a little fuzzy, but they have very tight security and people had to snitch the pictures. But you could see the rows and rows and rows of just the hard drives and the sync that occur in these data centers. Okay, and this is just another picture. As you can see, the different wires that back up, they'll go along into these data centers where they store just buildings and buildings. And they have buildings all over the country. And again, the different systems here you can see are color-coded with water and gas and everything else, electricity, so they can easily maintain it. Okay, first what we do is look at some of the online storage companies. As you can see, Carbonite Mosey, SOS, you see SugarSync, Acronis, ZipCloud. Some of these you've heard of, some of these you probably haven't heard of. But before you could use these and which ones you want to use, you need to determine how much storage do you actually need. Figure out how much space you need is the number one reason why people have to pay for online backup is you occupy storage on the server's computers with your data. Think of it as renting an apartment, whether you occupy the piece of the space in the available building that belongs to the landlord. You definitely don't want to rent or pay for a space larger than you actually need. So the first thing you need to do is evaluate your storage needs or backup needs. So you may want to analyze specific folders where you want to store pictures, music, other documents, so you can look at how much space you're going to have on your drive. Most of the time you can do this with right-hand click on the hard drive and select Properties, Management, or Information. So this is what's up. Let's go back, and as I said, it goes back down to Cloud iBox. So I'm looking. Do we have any questions, Huey? Anything at this stage? Okay.
Not yet. People are adding their names and where they're from. Other than that, I haven't seen any questions.
Okay. I was just running through that, and I just hadn't chopped down. I just saw a bunch of writing. Am I coming through okay? Can you hear me okay?
You're fine.
Okay.
Continue on.
Okay. Thank you. One of the things to do is that there are an awful lot of backup services. And what I've done is, this is from Wikipedia, and I will hold on to this slide just a bit so you can write down the bit.ly. And this has a list of quite extensive list, and but again, it's from Wikipedia, so you have to take it for what it's worth. But it does have links to the site, so you get a general idea of being able to compare the different backup services. Again, this is yes.
Okay. Are these prices monthly?
Let me. Yes.
Okay, and Barry asks, what determines the rank number?
That's a score that this particular site did based on their comparison. I guess it has to do with size, availability, and some other things. It was just a ranking one site did that I would know if, again, it's their opinion, and I didn't have anything to do with it. And I apologize. I probably should have had a little bit better answer to that. But that's one of the things is when you're looking for the backup, you want to make sure, installs easily, integrates with your operating system, does not slow down the computer. And some of these backup systems will operate seamlessly behind the picture, and some of it will just when you back up your system, you tell it to go to the cloud, and others do it automatically. What I want to do is spend a little bit of time on, we talked about some of the places that store, but there are an awful lot of places out there that offer free cloud storage. And I again apologize for how the thing went to this PowerPoint presentation, but you can see how that with Dropbox, I think everybody's heard of Dropbox. You got Windows SkyDrive. Dropbox gives you 2 free gigabytes of storage, and you get referrals that go up. Windows SkyDrive will give you 7. Box will give you 5. Google Drive, I think, may be up to 5 now. There's been some real big leveraging between the services and what can go, so they keep offering more different services. So what I looked at the other day could be changing by the time I gave this presentation. One of the things we want to look at here is let's just look at Dropbox. I'm sure that most of you probably heard of it. It is a referral service, and I'm just going to use this because we could spend all day going through all these. But what I want to do, talk a little bit about Dropbox, and how to operate Dropbox could be actually another whole presentation of what you could do. This is one amazing service of being able to sync between computers and sync between friends. It gives you a minimum of 2 gigabytes when you store, when you sign up, and you can get referrals, and you can get up to 500 megabytes for a user, up to a magnet of 16 gigabytes. So if you get all your friends and neighbors to sign up, you can get up to, I think I have about 10, so you get up to 16 gigabytes free. And if you could store information on 16 gigabytes, then you should be able to take a while to fill that up. The price they have is if you want to go to extra storage, and they have no data encryption, but they do have software for all the different basic software devices, so you can use this on your Windows, Mac, Linux, Android, iOS, or BlackBerry. And you can share files, and the one good thing about this is you can share files between your own computers, other people's computers, and but you can only sync what's in the Dropbox folder. So you have to establish a folder on your hard drive to be able to sync it. And I do not know how well this shows up, but this is a portion of my computer that I have, and I can't point to anything, but you can see up the top it says favorites, that I have Dropbox, Google Drive, Magic Briefcase, which is part of SugarSync, SkyDrive, SpiderOak, and Wyola Drive. I'm not probably pronouncing that correctly. But I've got the Dropbox highlighted for you. This is my Dropbox folder on my computer. And this is actually on my computer. And what it does is Dropbox will, on a periodic basis, sync with my cloud storage, and also sync with my other computers, my 2 tablets and my phone, of all the files. So no matter what device I'm on, I can get the information. And as you can see, the second one down is APCUG. And the APCUG has its own shared Dropbox folder within mine, that if Huey wants to share a file or Jim wants to share a file, they put it in there and it automatically syncs to my computer so I can go in and get it. So this is a great way to share files between individuals. Now there is a file size limit, so you really can't share movies, but most documents, PowerPoint presentations, spreadsheets, and everything will fall way under that limit. So you can share files. And most of these services operate on the same principle. Here's another one called SpiderOak, and online backup, secure sync, and easy sharing. This is one that you can download. I found a coupon to give me 5 extra storage, and this has a secure sync along with Voila, which means that the data is encrypted before it goes on the server. And so therefore anybody on their server they can see the files, but they can't get to them because they're encrypted. So it's just like Voila, which is based in Switzerland, so the file is protected, so no one on the server side of the hosting side can see what's in the files, even if they wanted to. So this is another one. Again, I'm going I'm going a little fast on this, but I want to save a little bit of time at the end for questions. Well, Dropbox Sync, I just see Betty has a question down here. Will Dropbox sync calendars between devices? No, because it only syncs file folders. If you had a file folder program that I don't think any calendars actually sync, but you can sync between devices with Google, and a few other devices will sync, but not based on your sharing. You'd have to go through Google or something like that. Let's go back here. Okay, here's SpiderOak. I showed you. It's FreeOak at SpiderOak.com. Free storage. Again, this has a referral program, which means is if you get someone to sign up to SpiderOak based on your referral, you get some space, and SpiderOak is giving you 1 gigabyte for a referred user. So anytime you refer somebody, you're going to get a gigabyte. I'm not really sure what they give you, but this is up to 10 gigabytes. So we're looking at what you've got between, Dropbox and all these other. You can have quite a bit of storage out there, and it's all for free. Again, all these charge for more services, but I think for the average home user or small business, that you could sync files on some of these and spread it around on some of these without really having to pay anything. Again, the one good thing about this one is that it is data encrypted before your upload. And so you got file sharing, so you can share it to anybody, and once you can sync any content that you want to sync. Okay, now here's SugarSync. It's another one that's a very popular program to sync data if you have your computer. One of the things along with Dropbox that has the feature is that on your smartphone you can have it set up to sync your photos. So all the photos you take on your phone will sync up to your computer or any other devices, so you can share photos, and you can set that up to move along. So that's one of the things. And this has got folders, and also will set up different briefcases, and they have all sorts of different storage techniques. So what I'd urge you to do is to look at some of these other storages and determine what you think is best for your needs and what you feel comfortable using.
David, we have a question.
Now, oh yes.
Stephen asked if some outside user, like the federal government, wants access to his encrypted files, how secure are they from snooping?
To tell you the truth, I really do not know. the files that are encrypted on there, that I don't really know if they, even if they turn them over, they don't think they have ways to be able to look at them. But that would probably be something to go with your legal counsel. Most of the time, I haven't heard of anybody really snooping on these file storage programs. They tend to get more information on Twitter and Facebook. But I'm sure it's just like any information, that if the government gets a warrant to go in and look, that they probably entitled to this. But then again, that's just the way I interpret it. And everybody may have a little different opinion on that. Again, the rule of thumb is you don't want to stick anything on the internet that you don't want anybody else to see. Now, again, they may not be able to see it, but I wouldn't stick pictures or anything out there that they may come back to haunt you, or data files that come back to haunt you. I hope that answers his question. Again, Box is another one that allows secure, simple sharing. It's very good. Mosey, everybody's heard of. I'm just mentioning a couple of these to go through. SkyDrive, this is one, that Microsoft does, and this is integrated into Windows 8, so that on the Metro style, you can click right on there and get in and share files. And with the new Office 13 coming out, you can work remotely on the server with the Windows files and store them directly. When I put together this presentation, I worked off my SkyDrive with Microsoft 2013 to put together this presentation. And it worked beautifully. I was working on it, saved it, worked back, so it was saving perfectly to the SkyDrive. And when if you got back into some of the other methods, you've got Google Docs and Microsoft Office, and the new Office that came out with the 365 will have you working directly on the cloud, so that everything is really going to the cloud. But this is one way, and if you happen to get into SkyDrive when it first started out, you've got 25 gigabytes, and now they're just offering 7. But for the most part, 7 gigabytes of sharing information, I think, is plenty. When you can share it, you can get up to 16 on Dropbox, and so you could probably get 50 or 60 gigabytes. As I said, I got it on a box, and I got 50 gigabytes, and there's nowhere that I'm anywhere near maxing out any of the storage information. Let me back up here. Let's start with ShareDrive before we get into that. One of the things you need to look at is your backup strategy. Are you going to back up your whole hard drive? And that may want you to put that up to a different place than you would just backing up or sharing files. Because when you're talking with Dropbox, SugarSync, those type of devices and programs, they're very good for sharing files, folders, and data you want to share between computers, and also you want to have a backup storage, so if something happens, your files are stored. And by able to work on the cloud and backing up and syncing from your computer, that you don't have to worry about moving the files. It does it automatically for you. Every time you make a change on a file, it automatically syncs and backs up. And so if you've got a backup system that you're backing up to an external hard drive and backing up your whole system or partial, and you just want to share certain files and backup protect certain files, you could do that on the cloud. So there are many different strategies, and we could spend half the afternoon just talking about the many, many different strategies you could have for backing up information. But one of the things that the cloud is besides backing up, you're sharing information with different individuals. And you can share files, folders, what we talked about here, or you could have communication to be able to share. Most of these programs allow you to share at least part of your Skype. You can share files, and you can share your hard drive and make presentations. Zoom, you can. Uvu allows you to share files. Tango allows you to chat and to be able to share and communicate. So you're communicating with other individuals and being able to share. The last bit that I really want to talk about is sharing information or backing up information. You have the way of backing up, through different files and different folders. But what do you want to save and share if you're out on the internet, or you're reading a PDF file, or you're reading a book, or watching different things, and you don't need to share the whole thing, but you just want to share part of it. So these are different programs out there. Evernote, which is a very popular program for sharing files, you can share everything under the sun. And you can even share, you can share things out there, and you can share things between computers, and you can even share it with friends. But Evernote is not distinctive, and it doesn't have to be a file. It could be a website, it could be a movie file, it could be a picture. So therefore, you see something you want to remember, you can clip it to that. OneNote does the same thing. OneNote's a Microsoft project, and is very useful when you're putting together, say you're putting together a presentation. You can clip notes into it and then move things around between different books. Read It, Pocket used to be called Read It Later, is a way of when you read the website. A lot of times you're surfing the web and you want to come back and you want to read the article, so you can clip it to Pocket and save it. The same thing with SpringPad and Clipboard is sharing the information. So you don't really need to share the whole thing, but you want to save something that you can share. So the other thing we want to talk about here is you got devices that you're putting information on and putting data to back up, to share on the cloud. Because you can use these web clipping tools to back up information that you want to save. So you could save a whole hard drive, or you could save a sentence out of a text, so you can save about anything. But one of the things I want to close out with is your ability to, and I haven't got a whole lot of, I don't have any PowerPoints for these, but the ability is that people store information on the web that you could get down and share with your system. It's not really backing up, but the data up there. When, it's just like the web, all the information's up there, how can you read it? So the different programs, that you can read magazines now. So you can get information from storage on the internet and bring it back to you at your time when you want to do it. If you notice, movies are now getting very popular to be able to stream and download. So you get to do it when you want to do it, and you don't even have to save space on your hard drive. So I thought this presentation may go a little bit longer. And then what we're going to do here is, that was also what I was talking about. You've got different connections to your computer that you can share and get information off the web.
David, there are a few questions.
Yes, okay. As to why don't I do this, let's go to the discussions save. And so we get this thing taken care of. And I want you to notice at the bottom of this is my email address and information. So dwilliams@apcug.org, or my phone number. If you have any questions, you can give me a call, and we could talk about this. Now let's start taking some questions.
David, one of the recordings doesn't pick up my voice because I'm recording it from my computer, so if you'd repeat them, that would help if we have to use that recording. Okay, here are the questions.
Okay.
Can you back up your whole hard drive on the cloud?
Yes. Okay, can you back up your whole hard drive on the cloud? Yes. Again, when you're backing up your whole hard drive, you're using a backup program, Windows or Cronus or some other program, and it just backs it up to a file. And where you store that file is up to you. And I do know some people that will back that up to an external hard drive and then also save different things to the cloud. So because if the external hard drive is in your house and you have a fire, then that part's gone. So you can back up any part to the cloud. But when you start doing that, you need to look at Carbonite or some of the other systems, because your hard drive file is going to probably be a little bit bigger than some of the storage, and some of them I think have a 10 megabyte or 50 megabyte upload size.
Betty asks, will Carbonite back up the entire hard drive? Can I back up multiple computers as it is unlimited?
Yes. The question is, can you back up an entire hard drive? Can you back up multiple computers? Yes. You have to remember, though, that Carbonite is not a backup program. It is a storage site. So you would have to have, I don't know if Carbonite actually comes with a backup program, but you can back up, and that is one of the things that they have is you can have more than one. The different sites on there will allow you to have multiple computers. Some you can back up the information to multiple computers. I mean, from one computer and access it from many computers, or some of them will allow you to back up many computers to the same thing. And I believe that Carbonite will allow you to back it up, and I believe that Carbonite has unlimited data. But again, I would read the fine print, because it's very highly competitive in the backup market, and those things are changing.
I answered somebody's question, and my typing isn't the best in these little boxes. But in answer to it, the slides will be posted on apcug.net, and the video will be on YouTube with links to them at the same place on apcug.net. Fred asks, what happens when you delete a file from the cloud or from the synchronized local folder? Does it remove the file permanently, and is there a recovery procedure?
Okay, one, I want to reiterate what Harry said. What Huey said is that the files and slides will be posted on the apcug.net and will be available on YouTube, and that YouTube site is APCUG Videos, and the link will be on apcug.net. And I do recommend that you pass these along to your group and go back and read, because you can then have a chance to read, because we went through some of these slides very quickly, and also some of the other presentations will give you a chance to share them. Yes, Fred asked, what happens when you delete a file from the cloud or you from synchronized local folder? Does it remove it from all places? Yes. And the same recovery procedure would be, if you delete from your computer, it's going to go into the trash. So you have the ability to back it up, to get it from the trash if you forget about it. But again, if you back it up, delete it from the cloud, it's still going to go into the recovery bin, but it's going to permanently delete it. So you got to make sure what you're deleting is there, unless you have a method, excuse me, a method of sharing or changing folders if you really want to save it.
The next question is, maybe I missed it earlier, but could you briefly explain what versioning is?
I don't think I can give a good explanation. Do you know, Huey?
The way I understand it is you can, as you update files, it makes another copy of the updated file, and you still have the older one. It tracks the changes you make in a given file, but I have not. I don't do it, so I'm not sure how these different backup places handle that.
Okay, and what Huey said was, okay, now that I understand the concept, what they're talking about, is that there are times that when you, it saves, versioning means it saves different versions, that you could have it set up so that when you update a file, you update the file and it'll go to a different version. The Microsoft Office will give you also that ability to use different versions. So you save it, then you save it as, so you could go back and keep the version. This is revision. This is revision. So if you want to go back to an early revision, you can. As I said, that's what. Versioning is a preventative measure to prevent permanent deletions unless you delete all of them. Now, I believe you would have to turn it on, and again, that would be if the site would allow it. And again, it would count against your storage unit.
There are no other questions at this point.
Yeah, I went through this a little quicker than I thought, but we got to. Because usually when I do this, you do this in front of a live audience, and you have a little bit more play and take. But I do want to thank APCUG and Huey for allowing me the opportunity to present this. And again, just to remind everybody and thank them for coming today, and remind them that if they check the APCUG website, there are all speakers that are available to make these presentations, and Skype or other method, and also that using one of these presentations, as a presentation in your user group, and then you could have discussion. And I believe that that a lot of these are interesting programs, and as I said, it's a shame I can't watch both tracks today. But I want to thank you for the opportunity. If you have any questions, shoot me an email. And again, that I'm not recommending any of these products. You do see what I did use, but again, APCUG is not recommending or endorsing any of these products because usage may vary by the person. What might work for me may not work for you. But I hope I gave you some food for thought today about storage, and that we do. That we have been helpful. And I think it's probably about time that I shut my trap.